You got to build it, bro. I do a lot of voiceovers too. So, I'm animated, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
you
entertainment. Out of my mother womb, I gave her problems. So, you know, it just happens,
Yeah.
But I breathe this. It's like, it's nothing.
Yeah.
I can do this in my sleep.
You ever thought about uh, being a character or voicing animations?
Always. Yeah, always. I'm always working, always building, always focusing, always seeing what I can do with my personality to really help bring joy and people life and stuff like that. So I'm constantly like always doing something. Today I was doing while I was on set shooting this morning, I was doing a voiceover audition. So for I forgot what it was, but one of my video guys, he wanted me to do an audition for a voiceover for one of his clients. So yeah, so I'm constantly somewhere in entertainment doing something. So
That's cool though.
yeah.
That's real cool. So you did a thing on PBS. It was recently, man. What was it? Was it the entrepreneur video? Was it entrepreneur video?
With who? Was it a documentary?
Yeah, it was a documentary.
Oh, the Black
PBS.
Church, Beyond the
Yes.
Four Walls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Talk a little bit about that, man. That was actually really cool.
Man, all I can tell you that 3 weeks, it's almost like my soul walked out of my body. Literally, I was like, yo. So when I got the proposal and everything, we got it finalized. And then from there, I had to put my team together. I wrote the script within 2 days. We filmed it in a week, edited in a week, delivered the next week. So we had 3 weeks to work on it. So up 5 in the morning, don't go to bed till about 5:30, wake up at 7, right back at it again, making sure things are delivered, shooting, producing, doing so much. But without my team, I would not be able to do what I was able to do. Everybody got paid. For me, that's the joy, right? To be doing something in the industry where one day I never thought I would be where I am. I see myself as music. I love music, songwriting, all that good stuff. But film, I was like, oh, okay, this is different. But sometimes God will call you to go do the work that other people are afraid to do. And it's only for the sake of those who's been given a promise. So, God rang that bell over my life and said, I need you in the film. And I had enough obedience to follow through and have enough crazy faith. And with all that led me to what I was doing for the Beyond the Four Walls, the documentary about the Black church, highlighting the Black church in a positive way,
Yeah. Most of the time you see the Black church, it's the hooting and the hollering and random carrying on.
Yeah. But people forget, though, that, in the Black community, what brought structure into our community was the Black church. From giving to fellowshipping to music. Think about it. Whitney Houston out of the church, Aretha Franklin out of the church. Think about all those type of things that people tend to forget. When Martin Luther King was doing his march, where did he go and present his case? To the church, right? Inside of the church, right? When radio station needed things and needed to give out announcements and information, where did they give it to? The church. The church has always been the staple of our community. It's just today, with all of the prosperity gospel and all that stuff, which I don't deny at all, or I don't shy away from, because as believers doesn't mean that we should be broke and poor, but there have been leaders who've mismanaged certain funds and mismanaged their leadership, and has caused a lot of people to look at the Black church as a black sheep, so, but I was blessed to be able to get that phone call to say, hey, can you work on this documentary? And we know you can bring it to life. And all I had was 2 days. No time to think, no time to eat, just write. So created the script, it came to life, and produced it and had an awesome team around me, to make it do what it do,
When you talked off camera about walking away from corporate America,
Yeah.
was the walk away for the film, or was that for music?
It was more for the next thing God had for me. My last year working at corporate was very frustrating in the beginning, until God made me realize they're paying you to embrace your destiny. That's why I tell people, I said, never get frustrated with your job. What is your job teaching you that you're going to need for the next season as you establish your own business, right? Some people go to college and pay for that experience when jobs are paying you for the experience to go and build your own system of equity in your own business. So, that it taught me great things out of it. And I took that moment and put it into what I do now and started my entertainment and film company. And God hasn't failed me yet. There's challenges, there's battles, but I'd rather fight this one than somebody else's.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oksana she says it like this. My wife, she says it like this. She says, they're paying you. You don't want to get paid to build someone else's dream.
Right. I mean, you don't want to get paid to build someone else's dream, but you're going to have to get paid to build somebody else's dream. Because with the pros, there's a con, right? With a left arm, there's a right arm, right? So at the end of the day, we have to learn that there is something called balance. Without that person being successful in their vision, we wouldn't even know that vision exists. So at the end of the day, we have a responsibility as human beings to not only foresee the greatness of our future, but also submit and honor those who have built anything that deals with our future. Because we are the future. And that's the reality,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who inspires you? Where your inspirations come from?
I would probably say my mother.
Yeah.
My mother. Hard-working Haitian woman, raising 6 kids.
Jeez.
And the other thing I would say, my father, forgiveness, also inspires me. Teaches me how to love people and not have expectation towards people.
Yeah.
Work with people through the process. That's when you find the beauty.
Wow.
You start to see their weakness, then you start to see your strength. You start to see their strength, and you start to see your weakness. It's one of those vice versa. So my mother working and having so much humility and being able to sacrifice her dreams so that we can move forward in life and progress is something I look up to. She's able to work in the fields and pick berries and oranges and cut flowers in the sun for over 15 years to provide for 6 kids. Then I can work in the air conditioner 48 hours and not be tired and keep it going, So, there's a dynamic duo there.
Yeah.
I've learned to take the bad and the good and find my good in it and see what can I create with that.
Yeah.
Grandmama have an ingredient list, mama have an ingredient list. Now you come together as a chef and say, how are you going to take both to create your own spice? And that's the season I'm in right now. So creating my own spice with my own company and talk show and all that other good stuff. So, yeah.
That's cool. And what number are you out of 6?
Huh?
What number out of the 6 are
I'm
you?
the baby.
Where do you fall in? Oh, you're number 6.
I'm the baby. The bald head one.
Number 5 of 7.
Wow.
Yeah. That's why when you said 6, I was
Wow.
like, wow. I'm number 5 of 7. We spoke. I reached out to you.
Yeah.
By the time we're shooting this, it was probably 2 months ago, 2-3 months, maybe.
Yeah.
I reached out to you because I was having an issue with settling into the identity
Yeah.
of my show.
Yeah.
You having shows of your own in media, when I was going through having my mental issues with settling in and finding my identity, settling with my identity, I thought to reach out to you. What was that process like for you? Because people can still learn from that, even if they're not in your same vein, because the lessons are still the same. You know, it's just layered over what you do. So just talk a little bit about that.
I mean, we had the phone call, and the main thing for me, like I was speaking to you on the call, is, what legacy you want to leave behind for your children, right? The assignment God places on your life is not for the sake of what you getting out of it, but it's what the next generation is going to get out of it, right? You want to be able to have your children to see your identity live through other people, because you have an assignment to do with your show, right? You have an assignment to help people see the very best of what they do while they're giving best to those who are watching as well. Right. So, for me, the identity and brand just comes from what's in your heart. What is the assignment? What is your intention behind what you're doing? Because if there's no intention, if there's no direction, then why do what you do, right? So like for my platform, it's all about storytelling, right? We're talking about, impacting, influencing, inspiring others using the platform. So I created the platform to where others are able to impact people. Your words are able to influence people. And then you're also talking about inspiring others. What is it that you've been through that you feel like is going to inspire other people? I always say, why wait to the funeral to talk about who you are? Why not speak about your story while you're alive so your children can hear you, so the generation before can hear you? Content is one thing that will always remain on this earth as technology grows. I could die tomorrow. My show would probably hit over 100,000 views. Why? Because you never witness your legacy while you're alive. You will only witness your legacy when you're dead.
That's what legacy is anyways.
Right.
It's legacy. It's what's left after you.
Yep.
What comes after you. What I think about is Jaden Smith, his Icon song.
I've never heard.
Okay. So
Tell me.
Jaden Smith has a song called Icon. And he's saying, what you're looking at is an icon living. He's living and he's an icon. So he does a remix with Will Smith, his dad. So Will Smith, when he comes on the song, he says, you're an icon living. Boy, you came from an icon living. You know what I'm saying? And it's just
that's true.
It's a boss line. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
But within that is, people talk about how iconic Will Smith is and the things that he's done, what he's been able to do. So you see that even within that though, once, he's gone from us, whenever his date is, whatever, but like, then you truly see the impact that is left behind.
Yeah.
But in his situation now, while he's living, you kind of can get a,
Yeah.
while he's here, while he's living, you can kind of get a taste of that because his children are moving and doing major things.
Right.
So I guess that's the whole entire point of it anyways.
Yeah, I mean, your show is going to let your children know that this is what always been in daddy heart. You see daddy at home, but your voice become even more sound outside of the home. Mm-hmm. So now one day your kids will be able to go on the internet, search your name, and see this very show. Yeah. How you started, where you are, where you're going, and the words that you always share. Like I said, I remember a friend of mine, we were at a dinner, he was like, Ram, why don't you just do like drama and stuff? You get a lot of views. I told him my assignment is not drama, and I'm not looking for views, right? It's one thing is, if there's one soul that comments, if there's one soul that watches, that's enough. Because what was in that person's head needed to get out in order for the person who's sitting down being interviewed to grow and to be better. See, us human beings, we're so used to piling stories and information in our head, but we never find that safe place to let it out. So every time you incarcerate those thoughts, guess what? Now those thoughts they're in prison for life. No one gets to experience the next level of your creativity. So if there's no platforms like this, being able to help others get what's in them out, then how do the world gets better? A bunch of junk does what? We know junk food doesn't do any good to the body. So why give them junk content? Why give them drama? Why give them negativity? Yeah. What's wrong with positivity? Why is it that every time we, not just as a Black community, but in entertainment, we have to sell negativity? The media sells negativity. In journalism, they teach you how to find the negativity, the trash behind the person, right? Wow. And then now you have shows that produce negativity. And yes, I get it. There needs to be opposition to everything that you're trying to build on. But it doesn't mean that opposition has to be at that level.